A Boeing 747 passenger jet was flying over the southern part of Java Island, above the Indian Ocean, when the crew and passengers noticed a strange light. A flickering blue glow appeared in front of the cockpit windshield. At first, it was mistaken for St. Elmo's fire, a phenomenon that usually occurs near thunderstorms or volcanic areas. But something far worse was about to happen. On June 24, 1982, at Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport in Malaysia, after a long journey, British Airways Flight 009, nicknamed City of Edinburgh, and also known as Speedbird 9, was preparing for the next leg of its route. The aircraft, a Boeing 747-236B, affectionately called the Queen of the Skies, was scheduled to fly from London Heathrow to Auckland, New Zealand, with a refueling stop before continuing to Perth, Australia. On board were 263 people, 248 passengers, and 15 crew members. The captain was 41-year-old Eric Moody, one of the youngest captains in British Airways, and among the first trained on the 747. Interestingly, he had once been a glider pilot. The first officer was 32-year-old Roger Greaves, with over 6 years of flying experience. The flight engineer was 40-year-old Barry Townley Freeman, a senior engineer with years of expertise. At exactly 8 p.m. local time, the aircraft departed. Captain Moody, as the pilot flying, leveled the plane off at 37,000 feet. With the aircraft stable, the crew relaxed and had dinner while passengers settled in to enjoy their flight. By 8:40 p.m., the jet was cruising at 36,000 feet over the Indian Ocean near Jakarta, south of Java Island. Unknown to those on board, directly below them, the Galunggung volcano was erupting violently. Captain Moody had just finished dinner and handed control to the first officer while he stepped out to the restroom. Before leaving, he prudently checked the weather radar, which showed clear skies. Meanwhile, in the cabin, smoke began to appear. At first, crew members thought it was cigarette smoke, but soon realized it was unusually dense. They feared there might be a fire, a deadly threat at 36,000 feet. Cabin crew immediately searched for the source. In the cockpit, the first officer and flight engineer noticed nothing unusual at first. Suddenly, blue light began glowing on the windshield. The first officer assumed it was St. Elmo's fire, often seen when planes pass near thunderstorms or volcanic ash. Using the landing lights, they could see a thin, strange cloud around the plane, though the radar showed nothing. The smoke thickened and smelled strongly of sulfur. Passengers looking out saw the engines glowing with an eerie bright blue light, creating a strobe-like effect. Many grew anxious, sensing disaster. Captain Moody returned and also noticed the phenomenon. Although the weather radar showed clear skies, the crew turned on engine anti-ice and instructed passengers to fasten seatbelts as a precaution. Smoke now irritated passengers' throats, noses, and eyes, causing tears. Then disaster struck. At 8:42 p.m., engine number 4 surged and caught fire. The crew shut it down immediately, but within a minute, engine number 2 exploded, followed almost instantly by engines number 1 and number 3. All 4 engines had failed. The once powerful 747 was now a powerless glider, heavy with fuel, silently losing altitude. The 747 has a glide ratio of about 15:1, meaning for every 15 miles forward, it loses 1 mile of altitude. From 37,000 feet, the crew calculated they had only 23 minutes and about 105 miles before hitting the ocean. In the cockpit, tension was extreme. They began repeated restart attempts, knowing each cycle took about 3 minutes and gave them only a handful of chances. The first officer radioed Jakarta Air Traffic Control. "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Speedbird 9. We've lost all 4 engines." Repeat, all 4 engines have failed. Controllers misunderstood at first, thinking only engine number 4 was lost. Luckily, another nearby aircraft relayed the true situation. With the aircraft silently descending, passengers realized something was very wrong. The cabin became eerily quiet. Captain Moody made a calm announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have a small problem. All 4 engines have stopped. We're doing our utmost to get them going again. I trust you are not in too much distress." His understated tone brought surprising calm, though everyone understood the danger. As the plane fell through 13,000 feet, one engine suddenly restarted, Then another, then another. Within minutes, 3 of the 4 engines were running again. The crew carefully climbed back to safety altitude, but the ordeal wasn't over. One engine surged badly, forcing them to shut it down again. Visibility was terrible near Jakarta due to volcanic ash, and the airport's instrument landing system was partly inoperative. The crew had to perform a near manual landing. Through a small clear patch in the ash-covered windshield, the first officer spotted the runway and guided the captain in. Against all odds, the 747 landed safely. Relief swept through the cabin. Passengers wept, hugged, and cheered. Investigators later confirmed the cause. The aircraft had flown directly into an ash cloud from the erupting Galunggung volcano. Volcanic ash is invisible to weather radar, which detects moisture, not dry particles. Ash clogged the engines, blocked airflow, and caused them to flame out. When the plane descended out of the ash cloud, the molten ash solidified and broke free, allowing engines to restart. This terrifying incident taught the aviation world a crucial lesson. Dry volcanic ash is invisible on radar and poses an extreme danger to aircraft. The experience of British Airways Flight 009 became a landmark case in aviation safety,